Come on back. Give me a break. Ah. Do we not do that? Think about it.
Look at me strangely like congratulations.
Well, that's what we think. We do, yeah. But think about it. Somehow or another, when we were children, we really were perfect because we had an imagination. We could do anything. Our intuition, anything allowed us to be whatever we wanted to be with there were no stops. We didn't care, no barriers. We didn't mind. And our parents were great, weren't they? Because they allowed us to. Well, and I love how James brought continual learners. We don't stop. We do it on a regular basis. But what happens, though, when we get new belief systems? As we get older, what happens? When you're young, this is what we'll do. We have imagination. We'll have a lot of fun. We'll go down the bunny slope with the skis straight down. We'll stick our hand in the cookie jar not knowing what's in there, and we don't care. We're just going to take it back and go, hey, yeah, and have a good time. And there's all excitement and fun for you. You're very perceptive on energy from people. You are as a child. You can tell. Same way animals are. You ever notice, let me give you another example. You ever notice how animals know when people are sick? You as your owner, or when you don't feel good, or when they feel they need to come lie next to you because you don't feel well. It's the same thing. That perception is there. That intuitiveness is there. And as children, it's clean, it's fresh, it's fed, it's given, okay? Nobody stops it. Nobody puts a stopper on it and says, don't do that at all. But what happens? We get older. All of a sudden, we hit an age, somewhere 6, 7 years old, and all of a sudden, everything changes. Good things come to those who wait. Oh, yeah, right. Go get it. Don't wait. Go get it. Better safe than sorry. Oh, no. Don't let me step off. Yeah. How are you going to do that? Who cares how? Figure it out later. I'm just going to do it. Let's go. Right? How about that one? Don't talk to strangers? Well, how do you ever meet anybody? My gosh, if we never talk to strangers, we'd never meet anybody ever in the world. And there's someone, Tammy has someone who she met in an airport. What if y'all had never met? You wouldn't even be here. But if she hadn't extended herself and the other person hadn't extended themselves, you don't meet anybody. How boring that would be if we didn't extend our sphere of influence and friendships. Well, curiosity killed the cat. Well, then I'm dead. My 9 lives are over. So are yours. How about yours? Okay. We must be curious to learn to grow, but do you hear these things being told to you and said to you? Here's what people say to you. It's realistic. Here's where we get into two. What do you mean to be realistic? What's realistic? If I say, to me, it means something different to someone else. Interpretation and perception is everything. So realistic to you may not mean anything to me at all, but we get told that. If I go and I say, well, I'm going to Harvard, and a parent or a friend or somebody says, well, you gotta be realistic. Keep your head out of the clouds. That's what they tell you, so then I can't fly.
Get out of the closet.
Yeah. Mind your own business. Mine's my favorite. Mind your own business. Well, what business? We gotta mind all business. Mind the world. Mind everything, but not just mind your own business. And then, of course, you can't always get what you want. Who said?
It's a song.
Yeah, it's a song, but who said you can't always get what you want? You're the only one who sets limitations, and that's what we did. But when you think about it, all our programming that's being done, all our programming, that's what it is. We are being programmed. All that programming has good intentions. But where did it come from? I mean, somebody taught us about Santa Claus. Somebody taught us about Tooth Fairy. Somebody taught us about the Easter Bunny. Somebody taught us about the Great Christmas. Somebody taught us all that, and they had great intentions, yeah? It was all good intentions. It was all wonderfully said. It was all done for our benefit to grow up. But then somehow or another, they shut it off. For example, I can still remember the day I walked down the stairs when I was young, poked my head around the banister and saw my dad eating the cookies and drinking the milk for Santa Claus. Y'all remember that? I think I was about 7, 8. At school people would tell you that. You didn't believe when you were a child, because your parents said the Santa Claus is coming. Until I saw him eating the cookies and drinking the milk, I was like, oh. And then I stood there and was like, what are you doing? That's for Santa. And he's like, yeah. Next day I got the explanation, but you remember, think about
When
that.
I was a little kid,
When we were younger, and some of us even still today, because for sure I love to live in yes and land, so yeah, but share with me and notice that, is this not true? If I'm in yes and, it adds energy to your life, yes? Because you'll do anything, right? It builds. You can build a business. You can build your life. You can build relationships. You can have possibilities, not limitations, possibilities. Solutions, not situations. You can, what? Respond, not react, right? But if you go to the yeah, but land, but, if you go to but land, I'm not going to turn around and do what good does. You're drained. No. It'll drain your energy. Programming makes us do that, though. Negates everything that we're going after. Yeah, but land changes that we live in yes and land, and that's what we want to come back to is yes and. Teamwork. People focused around you helping you. People who are wanting to help, not hinder. People who want to inspire you to be who you possibly could be. Not who you think you are. Not who you think you should be or would be or could be. You know, get out of the woods, right? Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Get out of the woods. Inspire yourself, encourage, enthusiasm. Motivate you to be what you absolutely possibly could be with no limitations. We go by that phrase, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Somebody, well, please give me the age. Would you please share with me the age? When did somebody tell me how old I was when I cannot be taught anything anymore? I'd like to know, because I haven't stopped yet. Can anyone tell me? You can't tell me when you can't stop learning. There is no limit on that except for what? The limitations you place on yourself. Only what you place on yourself. So the decision to turn the idea is, though, through that very, very well noted, you narrow your focus and you learn, and you can always change and you can always adapt. That's what we get, folks. Being in a state of confusion, we always are most of the time. It's whether or not you choose to do something with it or not that makes a difference. If you're going to have growth, if you're going to have advancement of knowledge, that state of confusion should be welcomed and embraced, and then you go with it. You take that information and build on it for continual growth. Seek and you shall receive, as long as you go seek. Know that what you do in your learning skills is entirely up to you, but make it interesting and productive and have fun at it. Learning is fun. It is not hard work, especially when you find what you're passionate about. And hopefully that's what you are doing.